Hey everyone, it's Zepha. I'm coming at you with my next part in my 3 Warzone series, explaining what each Warzone is and where a lot of the buffs and some strategies you can use to win. It's not an all-to-all guide on how to win Warzones, but it gives you a basic idea of how to be a better player in each Warzone. This one today is about Voidstar, and Voidstar is essentially, um, I guess, like demolition or something, where you plant a bomb and you hold that bomb until it blows up, and then you move on to the next area. I'm right. This is done in Battlefield. It's done in Halo Reach. It's done in a lot of games, and it's a very interesting style. I like it. I mean, but some of the best things to do in this game though are stand by the door at all times and watch the minimap. And uh, essentially, what you're going to do in this map is just plant the bomb, move forward. But the thing about it is there's 3 rooms. In the first room, it's just 2 doors. There's attackers and the defenders' entrance points. Attackers have no respawn time, while the defenders, when they pop up, will have to wait for their door in front of them to open up. This basically allows for the attackers to have more time to get to the door and be able to actually take the door. Because if you don't have this in, then the attackers are never going to move forward. But on the other point, as a defender, if you have enough healers, it is possible to stay up long enough so that anyone who dies will get back up before they really have a chance to take the door. Um, but just in the first room alone, there are two healing buffs, and there is a expertise buff. The healing buffs are placed in the right and left corner of the room, uh, top right and left corners of the room, and the expertise buff is placed in the middle of the room underneath the broken bridge. Essentially, it's that's really all there is to this room. It's really just about getting the enemy down and getting a bomb placed on the door. It's in my opinion probably one of the harder rooms to move through because the attacking and defending points are very close to each of the doors, and you really have to be on your game in order to get things down. Now, moving on to the second room. The second room has a bit of a gimmick in the fact that it has 2 bridges that you have to get open in order to move over to the next side of the room and get to the doors. The bridges themselves require you to do basically a channel time on them, and it is possible to stop people from getting them, but as you kill the attackers, as you kill the defenders are going to go back to the base, and they can't get back over to where the bridge command posts are because they're on the other side of the bridge. Now, this essentially means you are going to get the bridge down if you make it to the second room eventually, but they will be prepared for when you get that bridge down if you kill too many of them too fast. Best thing I think you could do is have someone rush forward, get a bridge down automatically, and just move over and try and get that door as fast as possible. If you do this, you'll be through that room in no time. But on the other side of the buffs being there, basically in each corner of the room, right next to the doors, is going to be a healing buff, and the expertise buffs are on the raised platforms on either side of the room. Um, I don't really know any respawn timers of these. I probably should get those, but that's where all the buffs are. And as I said, this is probably one of the easiest rooms to move through. But once you get through this door, the next room is essentially there's force fields in front of you, and you basically it's once again like the bridges. You have to use command posts to get through these force fields, get them down. There are a total of 3. And I would actually say, if you're a stealth character, you just stealth, you run, and you run as fast as possible. Get to the one all the way on the opposite side of the room, because once you're over past that force field, they may see your character, but they won't see your health bar or anything like that. So it's very hard to determine whether it's a ally or enemy. They're most likely going to figure out it's an enemy, but it's more beneficial for that because you're not going to be playing against. You might not always play against really good characters. But once you get down one of these force fields, the doors open up. This is also though like in the bridge room. When you kill the enemies, they do get stuck on the side of the force field. So eventually, you will get the force field down if you do have trouble with enemies stopping you. Now, once you get the force fields down, there are once again 2 doors. These are more spread out than the other ones. They're actually on complete opposite sides of the room, which I would say makes it a lot harder for the actual defenders to really defend the doors. But at the same time, the attackers can't be too spread out because generally defenders will pick one side to really fight against. So I say once again, you have a stealther, you have them run over and stealth and get one of the doors. And if the other team isn't smart and doesn't watch the minimap, then you will get the door and you'll get into the next room. And unless by some conceivable chance that you have almost no time left, you should win that round. Now, I keep on saying rounds. There are 2 rounds. You always have a chance to attack and defend. So if you attack first, what you want to do is you want to get through all the rooms as fast as possible. That way, there's actually less time for the other team to get through the rooms. Um, but if you're defending first, then you just defend. Try and make sure they go to the first room, and if they do get through the first room, you just have to keep on holding them back until the time is up. If they make it all the way through, you're gonna be a little pressed for time. But it's if they don't get to the first room, then you just have to make it to the first room when you're attacking, and you already win the game. At that point, you just play the game for medals, and which is always fun. You get a lot of medals. You get a lot of, and it's really nice to see a nice score at the end. But and those are the 3 rooms. Those and so you attack, you defend, and I'm going to give you an idea of what I would say is a good comp for this type. I personally think it's always a good idea to have an assassin tank. That's just me. But assassin tank in this one is really good just because of the fact that they have multiple AoEs. They have discharge, they have wither, they have overload. And generally, if one is down, if 1 or 2 of them are down, you always have one up. Wither has a 7.5 cooldown, so you always stay by the door, and you just attack one person on the door, and you'll always get someone else who's maybe casting, trying to get the door. On top of this, I recommend having 2 healers and the rest of them being DPS. Sorcerer DPS are always good. Healers, I would say operatives and sorcerer healers are also very nice because sorcerer healers do have an AoE heal they can place on the ground. So you generally and it just place it by the door and have everyone just stand by the door, keeping that, and you're good. Now for the DPS on the other hand, I would say you should have as many AoE DPS as you can possibly have because if they do get the door, or if you get the door, you can throw an AoE down on the door, and that way they can't take the door because every time they get hit by the AoE, it resets their timer. But that's all I really just say about strategy in this type. It's all about AoE, keeping everyone healed, and if you're attacking, you need to kill the defenders. And if you're defending, you just stay alive for as long as possible, and keep everything together. And always watch the minimap. Minimap will tell you when one side is undefended, and so you know when to get over there as fast as possible. It's going to be your best friend in this type. It may not tell you where the enemies are, though. It sometimes it does. I've seen really bizarre. It doesn't really. I don't really understand it, but I think it really only tells you where the enemies are that you're targeting. But it's like I said, this is personally watching the minimap is the key to winning this game. And if you can do that, and if you can keep concentrated and stay alive, and knowing who the healers are, and knowing who to attack, you will win Voidstar every time. I can guarantee it. Um, unless you're playing with some really bad people. It's as I said, it's also about teamwork. So you have to make sure not only you survive, but everyone survives. So if you're a tank, like an assassin tank, like I am, make sure to put guard on someone and make sure to use taunt and your mass taunt at all points. If they're attacking someone else, that way they take 30% less damage, and whoever is guard, 50% of that damage goes to you. And it's much easier for the healer to heal up you. This is actually really going to heal this way. It's they can just throw a dot on one of them, and then they can just heal you up, and the dot will probably take care of a lot of the damage you're taking through the 50% reduced damage. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about this type. I personally like this game type. It's not my favorite. I will say Civil War, the next one coming up, is my favorite. But it's a very nice, a very fun game, and you generally don't have the issue of hutball, which is can be very. If there's an overwhelming team, you will lose every time. It is still very possible in this game if someone makes a mistake. But anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm done. I'm out. I'll see you guys again next video.